Hey guys, welcome back to another weekly watch list where we go over all the given levels, setups, news, and earnings reports we're looking at for the given week, as well as what we're looking at going into Monday morning as well. So let's start off with earnings this week. Not a whole lot going on, which is always good to see. The only one I have really any major point to make of is going to be Nvda. Okay, obviously we all know we trade Nvda on tech earnings scalps. So it's going to be after close. So Wednesday, we're probably not going to be looking to take anything. Thursday morning, if it's got a nice setup, we could be looking to trade earnings on this. So be aware of that, Nvda. Okay. News this week, going through it here, really not the biggest week. It's actually a pretty light news week aside from Thursday, and Thursday is still pretty light compared to other weeks. Monday, we literally have nothing, like no relative news to the U.S. economy. Tuesday, we do have at 9 a.m. S&P CS Composite. We have the USD HPIMM, and then at 10 a.m. we have CB Consumer Confidence, and then Richmond Manufacturing Index. At 11:45 a.m. we have FOMC member Barr speaks, and then at 1 p.m. we have FOMC member Barkin speaks. Okay. Going into Wednesday at 10 a.m. we have new home sales. 10:30 a.m. we have crude oil inventories, and then at 12 p.m. we have FOMC member Bostic speaks. Thursday we have at 8:30 a.m. prelim GDP. Unemployment claims, core durable goods orders, and then prelim GDP price index. 9:15 a.m. we have FOMC member Schmidt speaks. 10 a.m. USD pending home sales and FOMC member Barr speaks. 10:30 a.m. natural gas shortage. 11:45 a.m. FOMC member Bowman speaks. And then anybody intraday trading 1:15 we have FOMC member Hammock speaks, and then 3:15 FOMC member Harker speaks. Okay, so that's going to be all the FOMC news on Thursday. Friday, we have not a whole lot. Again, it's going to be 8:30 a.m. goods trades balance, personal income USD personal spending and then prelim wholesale inventories Okay, 9:45 we have Chicago PMI, and that's really going to be it for news on that day. Starting off with markets this week, we did have a nice little sell-off here this weekend. Things love to shift in the evening, on Sunday nights lately. So we may see a major shift. However, as of right now, levels kind of we're looking at going into this are going to be 6,028 as just basic levels of support, 6,017.50. I'm going to have the major psychological level of 6,000 here, of course. Not sure why it's not charted out. 6,000, and then we have 6,017.50 and 5,994.50. Okay, so overall, just a couple areas of support. We definitely have a pretty decent sell-off here this weekend. To be aware of, pull the market down a bit. NQ, likewise, obviously everything's going to conversely translate. Tariff implementation likely by Trump. This is just the causation of it. 21,600, 21,552.75, and then 21,500 as well as the next psychological level, major psychological level. So those are really going to be the main levels to watch this week on the markets. And if you just zoom out, you can see why the level of support resistance we have in those levels I have marked. It's just very obvious there, very, very astute there. So going into the levels this week, we have four setups this week. Four setups on the week this week. Nothing super crazy, but definitely good setups for sure. We have Apple, SMCI, Meta, and Tesla. So just starting off real quick with Apple, what we're looking at is the 250 level. I like 250 upside here. I like the structured development. We kind of have a double top here. If we zoom out on the 1 hour, you can see we kind of have a double top structure. But I'm looking at the 250 level. Entry on this likely above 248.35 closure with a 249 break. Something around that, maybe just a high break is here. We'll see. Just kind of depends on the kind of divergent strength. Especially if this is off open, that would be the level I'd be looking at, would be that Friday day close high, right? The high of the wick. So pretty simple setup. 250 break is target. $1.50 move, pretty clean. Nothing really crazy there. Obviously, always need to see that positive divergence there. Be able to read the tape correctly. And that's all there is to that setup. Going into SMCI. Let's break SMCI down. SMCI is nothing really to go crying home about, but it's definitely a setup to keep an eye on. I like it personally. At the 55 level, we did have a break obviously below, but we didn't hold very long. We just had a little bit of a break here. 75 cents, zero continuation on this trade or on this setup. And this overall to me wasn't really a valid break yet. with the kind of weakness we had. So buyers just didn't want to let it happen that day, but I think that this retest here is going to showcase the actual, follow through we were kind of looking for, the continuation we were looking for here Friday. So this is going to be the level 55 here. Target would likely actually be the 30-cent break into 54, probably get a dollar move. If anything, I might even have second target as obviously previous supports, 52.91, 52, and maybe even all the way down to 50, depending on the kind of weakness we have on this stock on this given day. Those are going to be some notable divergent, discerning variables that are going to allow me to, really identify what I want to do with this trade. Once I've hit, whatever my first TP on this, like I said, 55 would be the kind of area of entry, and then 54.30 would be first target to have a valid risk, and 54 break, and then going through that, obviously my other targets, 52.91, 52, 51.43, and then all the way, I would say 50 would be the next target. So going into the next setup here, these are going to be my two highest quality setups for this week going into Monday morning. Looking at Tesla here at the, what was it? Made a mistake. Looking at Tesla here, probably at the 335 level, maybe 320. Really like Tesla here. I really have no conflicts. We're developing a nice bear flag here. Honestly, I don't really have too much of a structured setup here yet. To me, where I like it a ton, but it is Monday. This is going to happen more than likely, and it is a bit of a bear flag structured up development here. As you can see, this is a theoretical bear flag very clearly. So for me, I do like this at 335, 330, and like I said, I think we will see 325, 320 this week, more than likely. So those are going to be my main watches for this week. But the actual setup going into Monday would be for sure 335. Target's going to be probably just the wick low as first target, 334.26. So it'd be 334 target as first. And then again, this is going to be a weakness-based stock. I mean, we have to really, in order to see where our setups we want them to go this week, you really need to identify divergence, right? You got to just see where the weakness is. Relative to the other stocks on the actual NASDAQ, QQQ, and what's going on in the market at the given moment. You really have to identify that kind of divergence to get a clear read on it in a given moment, in that given day. So that's going to be our setup on Tesla, and then going into Meta. On Meta, we're looking at the 680 level. I do like this. Is a very similar structured setup. It's actually, to me, weaker than Tesla. We had a bit of a bounce. Tesla bounced. Everything else bounced. Not by much. I mean, extremely small bounce, but still enough to showcase which stocks are weaker. And Meta is definitely the weakest right now. So for me, Meta is going to be my main watch here. Number one, A+ setup going into Monday morning. Going to be very, very patient though, and not in a rush to just take this straight off open. If we don't have any form of bounce pre-market or any form of bounce right off the open, I'm not going to be looking to take this, because overall that's just a great way to get whacked on your pullbacks, especially off open. And if I do take it, will be with reduced size, because I just can't, manage risk that well when you're that close to open. First candle, second candle, you can't really manage a super tight stop because of the volatility variable. It's just allows it to be very difficult to properly manage risk, with your ratio. So to me, this would be a setup there. If it happens off open, it is this week. It's just going to be strictly a scalp with light size, half size, because of that. Even though it's a great setup and I'd love to go in heavy, if this does have to happen off open, that's the way I'm going to have to trade it, because it's just the only proper risk assessed approach of this given setup. So overall, guys, that's going to be the watch list this week. I got one side watch, Baba. I'm not even going to go over it. 145. You guys already know. Not going to be taking that, but just because it's Baba and we already know the kind of crap it did Friday was ridiculous. So personally, not going to be even looking to take that, especially with a Meta and Tesla setup like this. There's just no reason, no logical reasoning. But just again, rehash, Tesla would be at 335, SMCI 55 downside, Apple 250 downside, and then Meta 680 downside. And obviously, we'd be looking to see 675, 670 this week, hopefully on Meta as well as downside levels. So overall, guys, that's going to be the weekly watch list. Thank you for watching, as always. I offer mentoring, obviously. DM me on Instagram, one-on-ones, and mentoring for monthly program. And keep an eye out for every weekly watch list. I do these every week, every Sunday night. Any feedback, any support, comments, likes, everything is always very, very greatly appreciated. It keeps me doing these. for you guys to watch, obviously. And yeah, let's have a great week this week. Let's be risk assessive. Let's be smart. Size accordingly. Be patient, but also don't be hesitant. And let's crush it this week. As always, be risk assessive. See you guys next weekend. Peace.